No. So I won't.
I'm coming out of the game ornery today.
Ornery.
Yeah.
No, I could come out of the gate and tell you about one of the funniest things I've ever heard someone say.
All right, lay it on me. Funniest thing you've ever heard someone say.
All right, move back to
Expectations
Kansas.
are high.
Move back to Kansas for a sliver, right? Or no, maybe we were on a vacation or something. And this is another one of those bar stories. And so
it's already starting bad. You don't even know when it's
yeah, I don't even remember when the story took place, but I do know the funniest thing happened. And so I go meet my friend James there.
James.
That's
Shout out to James. Wherever you are, James. This story's about you.
The story's about you.
And if you're dead, I'll pour out some of my coffee for you in the Dub K.
And
continue on with your story in Kansas about James.
Man. So we went to this. We went to one of these bars, and it's New Year's. I think it was New Year's. Yeah, it was New Year's night actually. And so
God, you don't even know the fucking holiday.
I don't even remember. This is a terrible
story. You need to work on your storytelling, but your storytelling.
We show up to this bar, and I can tell you that we were the only particular type of people there.
Particular type of people in the Dub K.
And the bar was just jamming. It was hip hop club. It was awesome. It was great music playing and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so they had a metal detector at the door, so it tells you what type of place we're at. A classy establishment. And we're sitting there, and we're at this little table and stuff, and we're just kind of drinking and having some fun. And it's just me and James and then his two friends. Well, his two friends are some decent-sized guys. They're like college football players. And
what's a decent-sized guy?
Decent-sized guy is probably like 6'2" to 6'4", about 250. That's a decent-sized person.
It's a decent-sized individual.
Right.
I'm with you.
And so we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, it's this someone like comes flying into our table, and then I see two distinct groups kind of forming up on equal sides as these two combatants are in the middle, and they're yelling and cussing at each other, and security's coming flying in and sitting there. Well, so one of the guys, how he got to our table was the other guy kind of just like gave him an old high school push, like it was starting off like a push thing. Well, he pushes this guy right into our table.
Like a what bitch.
Yeah, like a wet bitch.
Where they push him like, what, bitch?
Yeah, what? And so then all of a sudden, I'm using air quotes here, the posses start to gather up behind each of their prize fighter.
Is this like a Mario Van Peebles posse?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember that movie? You get that reference?
Yeah, I did.
That Western? What was that dude's name? Father Time? It was the old guy and his posse, Father Time.
I think that sounds right. So anyway, so he's sitting there, and then all of a sudden the guy, one of my friend's buddies, just turns and looks at me, and he goes, "Hey man, you want to see me beat some ass?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm about to just go in there and start fucking up both of those guys." That's what he said. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was like, dude, what are you doing? You're going to get us killed. There's 4 of us, and there's at least 20 to 30 of them on each given side. I was like, who do you think they're going to get? And he was like,
where do you come up with the number 20 to 30? Are you just basing it on, like, appearance?
It's two crowds. It was these 2 crowds of people behind him. And then each particular combatant is wearing a certain color. Mm-hmm. So it was some kind of like shitty like ghetto gang fight thing. Like are people still in gangs? But the funniest thing, like this dude just turned to me and said, "You want to see me beat some ass?"
And then he goes back in.
No, he didn't go back in. He just acted like he was gonna do something. He's lucky no one saw him, because then we would all been circled in a matter of seconds.
So he really did white bitch and then back down.
No.
No.
No,
there was no what bitch.
The two guys were pushing each other. Okay. See, this is why you need an illustration. The 2 guys were pushing each other, and one of them bumped into our table. Okay. Those guys are back at each other's face, trying to fight each other, and the guy that's at my table just randomly says he want to see me beat some ass.
Okay.
And like he was gonna go in there and whoop everyone.
All right.
And just get us mauled in the process.
I'm not going to lie, man. I feel very underwhelmed. I feel like this story was sold to me.
It was sold to you better. This story sucked. I should have told you. I could have done a better job
The
with
Amazon,
that.
I ordered it on Amazon. It showed up at my door. I was super excited. I pulled back that tape. I opened the box. Not that exciting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a 5-pound gummy bear.
You sent me, what you just gave me was the Alibaba Wish.com
It's like
of stories.
It's like, these ain't Gucci's. These are these.
It's got like a stick man dunking a period instead of Jordan on them Nikes, and telling me that these are Jordans.
These are Fouille Vuitton. This is his cousin.
Exactly. So get this. I just looked up. By the way, hey, welcome to 7ish Things, everybody.
Oh,
hey,
we start.
intro
We're
time.
live. We're
Yeah,
live.
we're live. We've been live. The poor audience, our 100-ish listeners.
No.
So I just looked up that movie Posse, Mario Van Peebles.
Yeah.
This is kind of, all things considered, to tie it back to, I think, a conversation from one of a previous podcast. Get this cast out: Mario Van Peebles, who really
Nice.
did nothing. Stephen Baldwin, who he's a Baldwin, but he hasn't really done anything. Tiny Lister, big old Tiny Lister.
Nice.
Father Time, played by Big Daddy Kane.
Oh, nice.
You got Billy Zane in there. You got Blair Underwood. You got Melvin Van Peebles.
Why don't you just listen to your little friend Billy Zane there?
Yeah, you got Tone Loc. You got Pam Grier.
Wait a second.
You got Sir Isaac Hayes. That's a
Holy
good
sh-
cast, man. That's actually not a bad cast.
Paul Bartel?
Nipsey Russell's in there.
Paul Bartle.
Yeah, man, I should rewatch this movie.
Dude.
Here's here's a good transition for you. So, I finally sat down and I watched last night, after much harassing, Indiana Jones: Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Okay.
Well, yeah, I just want the full report. Don't hold back.
Okay. So, I should let it be known that I am a rather large Indiana Jones fan, and I know the movies all too well. I know them well enough to know that Temple of Doom chronologically comes before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
Last Crusade comes chronologically last, of course, except for the bit at the beginning. I've watched the Young Adventures of Indiana Jones.
That new series?
No, the old series. This is in like the 90s.
No. There's another one.
I haven't watched that one yet.
I started watching it. It was kind of like, meh.
Okay.
I need to give it another shot, though, maybe, because I do
and-
love some Indiana Jones.
And I will say that I have seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull prior to yesterday when I watched it, but I recall, it's been some years, and I recall that I was not impressed. So I went into it with the hope and expectation that perhaps I was wrong regarding my initial impression
You were.
the first time I saw it.
You were.
My full report is as follows. Fuck
shit.
that stupid movie. It is not an Indiana Jones movie. It's as if Steven Spielberg was replaced by his evil twin, who was making fan fiction, and somehow they managed to get Harrison Ford to star as Indiana Jones in fan fiction. It might as well have been Illinois Jones starring Harrison Ford. That movie was terrible. It was stupid.
Chicago
it was terrible.
Jones.
It was so brutally bad. It was like fan fiction.
Yeah, but you're taking it too serious.
No, I'm fine. I get the tongue-in-cheek nature of Indiana Jones. I get that. But the amount of times that they had to cut away to cut back so that some other actor could get his ass whooped instead of Harrison Ford, old decrepit Indiana Jones, they tried to keep the character the same physicality 25 years later, and it didn't work. It was stupid. Now let me be clear. The plot regarding the aliens and all that shit, I don't mind. I don't mind it at all.
It's cool.
The third movie, that shit dealt with Christianity and leaps of faith and the cup of Christ. Fine, no problem. Second movie, Temple of Doom, you got Hindu legends, no problem.
Right.
First movie, Raiders, Jewish legends. I get it, right? There's a theme, and then they get to this one, and they're like aliens. So it feels a little bit like a departure. Okay, not too much. Not too much of a departure, because what they were really talking about were Mayans worshiping gods, and then they explained who those gods were, that they were aliens, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that's cool.
Fine. I'm fine with the aliens. It doesn't bug me. What does bug me is the terrible dialogue, the shitty fight scenes, the terrible villain, the fact that What's-Her-Face's Russian accent kept falling out into an English accent. I feel like Steven Spielberg phoned this one in for a paycheck. I feel like if I go back and I watch Indiana Bones and the Temple of Poon, it will feel more like a Steven Spielberg Indiana Jones movies. And not only that, you caught me at a weird time, because I just saw 2 weeks ago Ready Player One, also Steven Spielberg, and it was excellent. It was an excellent film. But
I haven't seen that yet.
For all intents and purposes, a really fucking terrible movie.
Hey, you're not allowed to say that, probably.
Why not?
Because you keep saying that.
I keep saying it's a really terrible movie?
No, you keep saying all intents and purposes.
Why can't I? Oh, you mean I can't repeat stuff? But
I don't
saying
know.
all intents and purposes is my pectin-based fruit spread.
Okay, I'll let it slide. So it's kind of like strawberry jam.
I didn't say that. I said pectin-based fruit spread.
I know what
But
you're talking about.
I will no longer use all intents and purposes. But my point is cogent and valid in that movie is not very good.
It's like Congo. It's just for you take it for what it is. I really like the movie Congo. I don't mind this Indiana Jones movie at all. Is it like the other three? Hell no.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Hell fucking
There's
no.
your problem.
I know, but it's what I
It's
got.
more like Congo, and it's more like Anaconda, and it's more like Deep Blue shitty movie,
easy.
Virus, or any of those other shitty movies from that same kind of genre. No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
What fucking genre is that? What, like large animal?
No, I think that genre is movies well known by the writer, director, producer, and everybody involved that this movie is silly.
Are
Which
you
is
telling
why
me
Sharknado was successful was because they went into it going, this is stupid and we know it and you're going to enjoy it anyway. And that's not what Indiana Jones is supposed to be.
I enjoyed Sharknado. I didn't watch any of the other ones.
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with enjoying those movies. What's wrong with it's telling me that it's a very specific type of movie and not delivering on that promise. You walk in with expectations and you don't meet them, you get me mad. That's what happens. That's what happened last night. I walked in with expectations and I dusted off the distaste. I spat that out, swished it with some Listerine, and came back in going, okay, let me get a new bite on this and see how it goes. It was still terrible.
Yeah, to each his own.
To each his own. Indeed. But that movie was bad. You want to disagree with me, fight me on Twitter.
No, I'm not.
Cash me outside. How about that? Sorry.
I don't even tweet. I just like Snoop.
I tweet. I like to tweet. So what else is going on, man? Did you watch? You watched that other movie? We talked about that last week, didn't we?
No, we never talked about that. I thought The Experts was it was just a cheesy '80s movie.
Yeah. So what?
It was enjoyable.
When you say cheesy '80s movie, like last week we got down the rabbit hole of what is a movie starring a professional wrestler versus a movie that has a professional wrestler. So when you say cheesy '80s movie, I think I'm with you, right?
It's just campy.
But campy intentionally, or do you think at the time that they were making that movie, they thought they were just making a comedy, a straight-up comedy?
They thought they were making a comedy.
Right. And now, 30 years later, that shit's campy as hell, right?
Like, this will be like my view of it is like, because, like, John Travolta's sporting that mullet in the whole movie. Oh, the other guy kind of has a mullet, too. Like, they both have, like, kind of, not mullets, but, like, okay, it's like a fucking club mullet. It's like I had a mullet, but I'm not, like, from the trailer patch, but more like I've got the fucking
It's the '80s mullet.
It's for going to the club.
Yeah, I got you. I know the mullet you speak of.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of be like one of these movies with everyone with beards in it.
You think that's now we're gonna look back and be Jesus Christ, man? Look at that guy's fucking beard.
Look at that guy's fucking beard. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Probably something has
accurate.
to be. I know.
We'll go back and watch movies go back and watch shit from 2002, 2003, which is now 15 fucking years ago, but early 2000s with the frosted tip bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
It's bad. It's really
Dude,
bad.
Fucking, have you ever seen the movie Cool as Ice?
Oh, of course. Who hasn't seen Cool? Who doesn't know the lyrics?
Drop that zero and get with the hero. I loved it.
That's right. It's that and the Ninja Rap. Who doesn't know Ninja Rap?
Yeah, but it has like that. Cool as Ice has like those silly like cartoon like bonk zoink. It has like those like funny like little cartoon noises in it.
Yeah, there's those movies that are definitely made to be beyond normal, extend reality. Ace Ventura, right? The first one in particular. The second one intentionally so, but the first one presses against reality by having one character be somewhat outlandish and unrealistic, and then the second movie just jumped the shark. But
so I find myself saying, like the other day, I was like, New England clam chowder, is that the red or the white? And then I said that around some of the people at our workout gym, and there's some kids there, and they just kind of looked at me, and I was like, oh yeah, this movie's like almost 30 years old.
Well, that happens, and yeah,
it's funny. It's like, how can you not know Ace Ventura? That's an amazing movie.
I saw Ace Ventura on a date that I did not know was a date because I was 15. I went with a girl from my high school. She asked if I wanted to go see a movie, and I said, yeah. yeah, I would like to go see this movie. That sounds great. And I was too young to understand that she was asking me out on a date. And then we went and saw that movie. And
Yeah? How'd that work out?
I dated her for, I don't know, 8 months. Lost my virginity to her, so that worked out well. Still
Wow.
friends. Yeah, still friends with her. Super
Wow,
nice girl.
this is a good deal for you.
Yeah, that movie may have shaped my entire adolescence and journey from adolescence into adulthood. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Shout out to Jim Carrey. Thanks a lot.
Shout out to Jim Carrey. Thanks for that, bruh. Your movie was funny enough that it made it seem like I was interesting. I got the rub. I got the wonderful, somehow reverberating comedy rub by a jovial good time with an impressionable young girl.
So you got fallout because of Ace Ventura.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So she was probably had the hots for Jim Carrey, but he wasn't around.
I don't know. Jim Carrey's, I guess, probably 10 years older than me, 12 years, 15 years older than me.
It might be
So
frowned
yeah,
upon.
I guess so.
So how do you define an 80s movie? Like 80s action, how do you define that? Like what kind of requirements do we have? And let's start with one that qualifies. So Predator, that qualifies.
Okay, definitely qualifies. And I think there's two questions there. Is that if you look at 80, just because a movie takes place between 81 and 89 or 80 and 89.
Okay, what's the time spread? What's the time spread?
Well, no, it's definitely 80 to 89. If you made a movie, if it came out on December 31st, 1989, it's a 90s movie, and I think we can agree with that. It had to have been spent some time in the theater in the 80s, but I think it's beyond that. I think we use 80s as a catch-all for a very specific flavor of movie, a feeling when you see it, a hairstyle, a hairstyle, a clothing style, a cinematic style, a movie style. So I'll give you an example. This isn't an action movie, but a quintessential couple of 80s movies, and the reason they come to mind is because they were on the same VHS tape I owned, was Rad and American Anthem. We talked about American Anthem, I think, on a past podcast, or at very least I was having a conversation about it recently. But those movies are quintessential 80s movies.
Okay, I've never seen American Anthem. I will watch it. I know. I'm very familiar with it.
It's bad, but
I don't care.
Worthwhile.
I love that stuff, though.
So if you're looking for what is a quintessential 80s drama, and not a
we're doing action. I
know. I'm giving perspective here. But what I'm saying is that if you were to look at the Academy Award winning movies of that era, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Empire of the Sun. I'm not talking about Steel Magnolias. I'm not even talking about Ghost. I'm talking about Dirty Dancing. I'm talking about Footloose.
Yep.
Right? Those flavors, does your character, is it within reason that your character is going to need to dance it out? Okay, you're in the 80s. Welcome to the 80s.
If you're going to have to dance it out, then that definitely happens. So
yeah,
Break In,
exactly right. So in that same vein for action movies, if your character has a need for expository dialogue while shooting and killing people and or one-liners, you might
counts.
be in an 80s action movie, for sure. An 80s flavored action movie. So you said Predator. That's right there. The amount of Jesse Ventura's dialogue is nothing but one-liners.
This shit'll make you a sexual Tyrannosaurus, just like me.
Exactly. I would say, and I think we agreed on this in a text conversation this week, but probably the most 80s action movie is Commando.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh, here's another requirement for an 80s style action movie is you need people clearly doing gymnastics flips in the air
when they get shot.
Yeah, or grenade throw. An explosion happens and they're clearly doing a full flip with a half twist type thing.
That's so awesome.
Oh my god, that is Commando to a T.
Yeah.
Those fuckers flip through the air.
We just watched that maybe 3 months ago. Nikki was just dying.
But then there's others.
It's so good.
You need that. I think you need that Cold War element too. For like the original Red Dawn, I'm gonna call that an 80s action movie.
That'll work. Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo. I'm gonna call that one. Not First Blood, but First Blood Part 2 and Rambo 3. But not the first one. The first one's kind of drama. It's like Rocky. The first Rocky, 1978. That's a love story. That's like a dramatic love story that happens to have a fight at the end. Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, 80s action movies. Very different flavor of movie.
I would say that, but out of the mix, though, Rocky 4 is clearly the most 80s.
It's got that Cold War feel.
Oh,
to it
it has to have a. I mean, I think they're one of the requirements. I mean, there's like a spreadsheet that we could do on this, but basically, like, if it has a montage in it, that's definitely counts.
Yeah, Bloodsport's high on my list of 80s action movies.
Yep, Kickboxer.
For sure.
Same thing.
Kickboxer, yeah. I mean, that whole lineup of Seagal, Van Damme.
Yeah, but they kind
Hard
of
to Kill.
Seagal movies kind of suck.
Yeah, Hard to Kill was good, man. The first
one, because he was like normal size. He wasn't like a big fat guy.
Yeah, then you got RoboCop in there.
That qualifies major.
Yeah, for sure.
The first one's really good. I even enjoyed the second one. But
yeah, you got Escape from New York. I think that might be the start of the genre of the 80s. I don't know. I can't think of a movie that was made before.
Well,
movie.
I was talking with one of our listeners, Brad, about it, and Brad said that he says, is Conan the start?
The first Conan?
It's 81.
Is it 81?
81.
What came first? Escape from New York or Conan?
Oh, Conan's 82. I thought it was 81. Conan the Barbarian. Then Escape.
It's still Escape. Here's one that's I think is just quintessential ridiculous 80s action movie. Over the Top.
Hell yeah.
Over the Top.
Fucking love that shit. Dude, I was gonna send you this picture.
I found flip a switch. Yeah, Over the Top.
I found this picture of it's Stallone and Bull Hurley arm wrestling, and it's like, and then there's like a bottle of Brute. So they had like a Brute sweepstakes that you could win. I'm thinking, who the fuck won this shit? Like, anyways, the best fucking line in Over the Top is when Bull Hurley goes and slams the guy down. And he's like, "You ain't shit." That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, let's see.
Are you trying to look for the sweepstakes? See who won?
No. I'm looking at a list of movies to see if I've overlooked anything, because I know that you get into this topic and people are going to get really pissed off, particularly if I don't say Roadhouse, even though that's 1989. It's on the cusp. Roadhouse might be the end. It might be the cutoff, because Roadhouse is a super silly 80s action movie.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's all right.
Once you get there,
when you got that fucking dude with the goddamn
in 1989.
I like that one, but that's not the same type. That's a more serious movie. Like, yeah. It's not like Cobra, right? He's fucking hauling ass on the street, machine gun out there, car chase.
Tango and Cash is also 1989.
That counts. That could be the. That's counts. Probably the end.
You also got Lethal Weapon 2 in 1989. That's got to count too. Is that a Shane Black movie? I don't know if this is true. I'll have to look it up. But someone told me that Shane Black, famed screenwriter Shane Black,
he's in Predator.
The first Lethal Weapon was his thesis to graduate film school. That was his script that he wrote as his senior thesis for film school.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's true. If only I had access to a repository of information.
Right, you could just look that up.
Yeah, that somehow managed to collect all of humanity's knowledge in one easily accessible format.
I have no idea.
Shane Black, Lethal Weapon, film school, gang bang.
Oh shit! Die Hard.
Die Hard's start of a genre. We're about to see a new movie with The Rock, basically doing Die Hard again. Did you see this? You haven't seen this trailer? It's not a Die Hard remake. It's a Die Hard genre movie. Oh shit!
So this is interesting. So not Alien, which came out in 1979, but Aliens. That's fucking 80s action. With all the fucking Marines, any of those movies that incorporate getting a whole bunch of Marines and machine guns is definitely Mad Max Thunderdome, 1981.
Yeah, Thunderdome definitely counts. Thunderdome is particularly of those series. Thunderdome is for sure that.
Does Beverly Hills Cop count?
Yes, for sure.
Because it's silly.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, but not 3.
Running Man, of course, love that movie.
No, Running Man that's top of the food chain, man. That's almost up there with Commando.
It is up there with Commando.
You have,
Definitely.
you have ridiculous bad guys. You have silly explosions. You have terrible one-liners. Total Recall, that's got to be up there too.
That's 90s.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
God, Total Recall is 92, 91.
Yeah. I mean, you
But
got a lot of. What about Romancing the Stone? So that was one of the questions. I like that movie. I think that counts.
I like that movie too.
That's
not
like
bad.
a Indiana Jones love adventure action movie. That's a good one.
Yeah, I would call that an adventure genre if we're gonna sort of subcategorize action movies into different flavors. I would say that.
Okay. Do you count two different ones? Do you count Scarface, and do you count any James Bond movies?
I do not count any James Bond movies. I was looking at those, Living
Nope.
Daylights and whatnot, because
Me
they're
neither.
their own thing. They're just their own thing.
It's their own deal for sure.
Yeah, and I don't count Scarface because I think that's drama with action.
Yep. That could occur.
Yeah. So I'm on Ranker.com. This is going to be a bit of a tangent, but I'm on Ranker.com, and I'm looking at the best 80s superhero movies because I was just thinking.
Oh,
popped into
shit.
my head about comic book movies now because we've got the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC Cinematic Universe, and I was just curious what came out in the 80s that was comic book, and what's going to be the best one.
There's a Spider-Man. There's a Hulk. There's a
Well,
Punisher.
not exactly in the. Yes, that's true, but
Superman?
not exactly. Superman's the big one.
Batman's the biggest one.
You've got
Excuse me.
you've got-
Excuse me.
No, I'm gonna stick with Superman. The first Superman's the 70s, but Superman 2, 3, and 4. By the way, 4 is a piece of shit. By the way, 3 is not great, but it's got Richard Pryor. By the way, 2 is okay. So you got Superman, the Batman 1 and 2. Because
Hold on 1 second. Are you telling me that Superman 2 is a better movie than the Jack Nicholson, Batman movie?
No,
And
I'm
Michael
saying no. I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
not at all. I'm saying that you got Tim Burton's Batman and Batman Returns, which I think might be 1989. Are they 87, 89?
Which one? 87.
Batman.
No, yeah. Batman is in 89.
Okay, Batman's 89, and then Returns is in like 91, 92, and
Yeah,
the third
which-
one's in 94 with Val Kilmer.
What about the fourth one?
So you got Batman. We're not talking about Batman or Robin. You got Batman in 89. You got 3 Superman movies.
Holy
Okay.
shit, Swamp Thing.
Don't forget Swamp Thing. You got Howard the Duck.
Fuck yes. Love that.
That's a Marvel
Yes,
comic.
that is. What about Flash Gordon?
Flash Gordon's
He's not
the
a
70s.
He's not. No,
You've got the Dolph Lundgren, Louis Gossett Jr. version of the Punisher.
that's terrible.
That's you got Master of the Universe. also
Flash
comic
Gordon is 1980.
book. You're right.
Sam.
You're right. I'm looking at it. Yeah, you got Swamp Thing, Supergirl.
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
Those are terrible.
Yeah, this list has got Batman number 1, Superman 2 as number 2, RoboCop is 3.
Yeah,
Supergirl,
I agree with that.
Swamp Thing, Flash Gordon, Toxic Avenger, Superman 3, Masters of the Universe. I like
I've
that
nev-
Dolph's on here twice. Dolph Lundgren is on here, Masters of the Universe, and the Punisher.
But He-Man's not a superhero.
No, he's not. He's his own thing. He lives in Eternia.
What about? I've never seen Supergirl.
You've never seen Supergirl with Kelly
No.
Slater? Not Kelly Slater.
Mia
Helen
Farrow?
Slater? Helen Slater plays Supergirl. She's
I don't know.
the titular character. You watched He-Man recently, right? The cartoon all the way through?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I was looking at some website list. I get those clickbait things in Facebook that says 15 times 80s cartoon people did something bad, and I clicked on one, and it really focused on the animators really putting a little bit too much effort into
He-Man's junk.
He-Man's junk and the sorceress's ass and Tila's ass.
Yep.
And so I got down this little rabbit hole of thinking about some of those characters from some of those shows, and I started to get uncomfortable a little bit about some of the racial depictions of characters in G.I. Joe and whatnot, Transformers, and have you thought about this?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, well, we kind of started to brought this up a little bit, and then we had to both stop because there's a whole bunch of information. So the first thing that came to my mind was Fat Albert. How that show, how the hell? I mean, basically, it depicted those kids in a certain way that wasn't the greatest. I mean, one of them had giant lips and mumbled. And come on, man, you can't do that.
Okay, so you're not wrong. I mean, but Fat Albert's uncomfortable now because, in my mind, I think most of them were voiced by Bill Cosby.
So that makes it extra uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's why. And I think all those characters were created by Bill Cosby. And I'm not mad at a show that was a depiction of a certain type of perception of a culture from someone within the culture. Like,
Okay. All right.
I'm not mad.
That's a fair assessment. If it would, yeah. Okay. I'll concur.
I can't believe that somehow in the middle of a fucking Thursday, the lawn guy is out leaf blowing right outside my window right now.
He's saying, fuck your couch.
Fuck my couch. Are you kidding me, bruh? Jesus. So apologies for the background. This is why I put beats underneath things to drown out some of this stupid. I'm moving in a month, May 15th. I'm moving into a new house away from this condo, and I have to take care of my own lawn care. So.
Oh, geez. Look at this.
So you can't hear me, but he's out there. And I say this to you, sir, if you ever become part of the Ish Army, kindly go fuck yourself. Jesus, go blow your leaf somewhere else. Anyway, so
there's a Fat Albert episode where it's called Double Cross, and it's basically they go against these two white kids who have arm patches like the SS. Damn.
Yeah, so that's so what I'm saying is that I want to say that it's created, produced, and hosted by Bill Cosby. He also lent his voice to a number of characters, including Fat Albert, right?
Right.
And so I have to think that Bill Cosby at the time shaped the tone, flavor, and storylines of those characters.
Of course.
Which makes me wonder how much crazy sexual assault was happening in the background off screen. That's neither here nor there. But so I don't have a problem with that character. What I do have a problem with
I know what you're going to say.
Well, it's like Jazz from Transformers, I think, might be a little.
Okay, so how did we? That was what I asked you. So how did we know as little kids that both Jazz and Panthro from the Thundercats were black?
Well, they were voiced by African American.
I know,
voice
but
actors,
they made it. They made it like more. Yeah,
they took a cultural dig at it, right? They definitely put a.
Yeah.
For
Feels
Jazz
like
in particular. Yeah, and not only is this fucking leaf blower right outside my window, but he's making sure that my leaves are the cleanest. My sidewalk is the cleanest sidewalk in this whole. I live in a condo complex with 300 units, and if my sidewalk out in front of my front door is not the cleanest fucking sidewalk I've ever seen after this dude, who is probably standing outside, holding this thing like it's his dick, checking his fucking email, blowing the same spot that's clean. Move on, bro.
Dude, I'd open the window and yell, "Get the fuck on!"
Jesus Christ! I used to host a meeting. I had this in a past job that you and I shared. I would hold this weekly meeting, doing updates to like an executive team, and I moved the meeting because the leaf blower was scheduled that day, and then dude just decided to start showing up on his own time. Like it would just be, I didn't show up today, so then I moved it to Thursdays, and now he's here Thursday mornings. This guy used to be here on Tuesday mornings, which is why I schedule shit on Thursdays, and now he's here on Thursday for no fucking reason. Someone's getting an angry letter, goddammit.
You're not gonna send a no fucking letter. Don't fucking be talking all crazy.
I send letters.
You need to fucking read. Then you read the letter on the show.
To whom it may concern. I will write a letter. It will do nothing, and I will write that letter. I will write the HOA. I will write my congressman. I will write my mayor.
You're gonna write your congressman?
I will write a letter to this person's future grandchildren about how much of an asshole. Look, I don't want to. I feel bad because this guy's working his ass off, right?
He probably is.
He's hustling. He's out there doing his job, and it's not his fault that he's outside my door while I'm trying to do some shit.
Apparently, it is.
It's just coincidental.
He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to earn a living and feed my children. Is there anything I can do to make your life easier, sir?"
Yeah, there is. I like him to not blow leaves right outside my door. I would like to give him, in fact, I want to give him the gift of not blowing my leaves and still get paid. That I want him, and when someone says, "Hey, what about that sidewalk?" I see one leaf still in the center that you clearly didn't blow, and he can point to me and say, "Well, that fella right there said it was decorative."
What about, so maybe not cartoons, but what about like you can't do that on television? Have you watched that?
Yeah, there's definitely some off-color jokes in there. That's, to be
I
fair,
liked
that's
it. I mean,
Canadian television.
I know that was like it was pretty wild though. The way they treated the kids and stuff. I thought it was an alright show.
Yeah, but I mean, start to look at the major G.I. Joe characters, and most of them are going to be fine other than their depiction of things like women in power and stuff like that. But look at, say, Roadblock as a character. I mean, he all but talks in jive. And he was played by The Rock in the movie, and they updated it, and he was better. Okay.
But that being fair, I mean, you're going to talk about the Indian characters and everything. I mean, everyone is a stereotype. That's why they're G.I. Joes.
Yeah,
so I have no beef. Like Gung Ho, right? He's a white guy with a marine tattoo on his chest. He's exactly everything that they want Marines to be.
Well, yeah,
that's the point.
Except I think if you go back and watch that, it's clear that he's probably gay too. He likes dudes, and more power to him. They just didn't want to say that. I think that dude is. I think if you go back and watch G.I. Joe with a modern eye, what you see is a lot of nuance that you would interpret now as a writer at the time subtly dropping a hint that, like, hey, by the way, like, take Lady J, for example.
Okay. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I think Lady J, it was implied by the writers to, maybe she didn't just like dudes. And there's this whole subculture online of going back and sort of relitigating the way that some of these characters were portrayed, and maybe say, hey, you know what? If that character was drawn today, maybe they would be part of the LGBTQ community, which is better because now they are. There's no hiding it. It's not like, hey, nod and a wink to the audience. Here's a character for you. But that's my issue. That's what I'm kind of alluding to, is that there was a kind of this weird nod and a wink to different cultures, different subsets of American culture at the time, particularly through G.I. Joe, which was trying to be sort of multicultural everything by having all these characters, and they're trying to be inclusive in a way that other cartoons
so hold on a
weren't at the
second. So
time.
you're telling me that their character Quick Kick is not okay because he's an Asian guy that knows karate or taekwondo?
Why is there a movie called American Ninja? It's the same basic premise. It's the idea of playing on a very specific racial undertone to a concept, to a philosophical concept or a martial art or something like that.
I don't think so.
And then twisting it on its ear by saying, hey, look, not only is this guy a ninja, but he's a white, blue-eyed ninja, which is why that movie has a title that it does and the storyline that it does.
It has
He's
a
not just
title
badass.
because people are stupid.
Well,
That's why. So it has to be very specific and say, no, this is an American ninja, as if there's a difference between a fucking ninja and a ninja. So they're saying that, so now it's like, oh, this movie takes place in America, and now people will go see it. That's exactly what that is. They're not doing, there's no. You're giving these people way too much credit for trolling. Dude, G.I. Joe's characters, every single one of them is a stereotype of some kind of stereotype out there. Nope.
Well, yeah,
not.
I mean, but I'm not even done with Lady J. Do you remember what Lady J's weapon was? Think about all of the G.I. Joes and what
she has a bow and arrow.
She has a bow and arrow. What about Scarlet?
Scarlet has a crossbow.
Why don't they get guns?
Well, have you seen these?
Guns
Have you seen these motherfuckers shoot?
as G.I. Joes?
I mean,
they're great
nobody
with their
can hit
weapons.
shit. Nobody can hit anyone. No one dies. How the fuck did you guys roll out full armies, thousands of tanks and shit, and no one got hit?
Well, Duke gets hit by a snake thrown by Serpentor in the movie, and that's okay. He does take it in the chest, but
Right, but he
like,
took
why-
it. You know,
I
he took it in the chest, much like the ending of spoiler alert. Towards the end of Conan, when he hits his chick with the same thing, the snake spear or snake arrow.
That's right. Yeah, the snake arrow. Hold still, buddy. I'm about to throw you. There was a
Yeah.
G.I.
No,
Joe
he
called-
straightened it out.
Do you remember the G.I.? What was the
Globulus.
American Indian? Well, the alien. Was that Spirit?
Spirit.
And he carries around a bird and a coyote and a wolf or something?
Yeah.
No,
that's-
the Snake Eyes had the wolf.
Yeah, Snake Eyes has a wolf. Well, a couple people had a wolf. There's an Australian guy. He's part of the Dreadnoks. He has like a little warthog. I like that guy.
Did you say woof? You know, there's an L in that word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the dub K out. Put it back in.
Sorry, sir. Is there anything I could do?
Yeah, enunciate your fucking words. There's an L in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I said he has a wolf.
Oh, look, I found a list online. Here we go. Hold on. So what's wrong with Gung Ho? Gung Ho, he was voiced with a Southern accent, even though he was Cajun, in a totally 1980s movie, which was sure to pick fight with members of the G.I. Joe Russian counterparts, the October Guard. Oh, I forgot about the October Guard. God, those guys were silly. Oh God, there's a character named Banzai. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Are you looking at the all 163 GI Joe characters ranked?
No, I'm looking.
What are you looking at?
It's a list of 15 GI Joes that would never fly today on CBR.com, which don't go to because it's fucking clickbait. I'm sure it might not be. Feel free to go, but be wary.
It's definitely clickbaity.
Keep your pop-up blocker on. Sometimes they're impractical. Wouldn't you want to be wearing? This dude's wearing like Zubas and a purple. He looks like Casey Jones with a ponytail, and his name is.
Oh, dude, you definitely forgot about the October Guard.
Yeah, you remember the October Guard now, the G.I. Joe counterparts?
Yep. Dude, I like Bullhorn. What's wrong with Bullhorn? Because he's like kind of Native American? What?
Yeah. Oh, there's a dude named Budo, Samurai Warrior. Oh, my God. Mainframe and Dial Tone. What's the problem with Mainframe and Dial Tone? Choice to go with the codename Dial Tone feels horribly antiquated, of course, right?
Okay, what about Big Lob? There's nothing wrong with that.
And here's Quick Kick. I loved Quick Kick as a kid, too. Fun character in the comics, but we don't get why he can't wear a uniform like everyone else. Yeah, why doesn't he get shoes? Why can't you have shoes, Quick Kick? Put some boots on. It's cold out there.
No, he's barefoot. I don't remember Buddha.
Heavy duty, for sure. Gary's big.
What was wrong with Mainframe and Dial Tone?
Just on this list, Mainframe and Dial Tone use words that don't make any sense. Ask my kids what a dial tone is. They don't have any fucking clue. Or a mainframe, for that matter. These guys would now be called cell phone and cloud computing.
iPad.
Yeah, cell phone in the cloud. Text message in the cloud.
Text message.
Emoji. Emoji in the cloud. That's dial tone. And dude, he's got remember he walks around with that backpack. That's his communication thing.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
A cell phone. That's a GI Joe cell phone, and it's a backpack.
It's a satellite phone.
I'm gonna have to show this to my kids and be like, "This is what phones used to be like. We used to have to strap them to our back and fight Cobra."
Fight Cobra. Remember when you had to explain what GI Joe the movie was about? And who the fuck were you explaining it to? You're like, look.
Oh, I was talking about Cold War television. I actually explained this earlier this week. I was at a quarterly business review, and our Paris team is here, and we were talking about Cold War television. One of my colleagues from Paris, he's actually half American, but he was born in Switzerland, and his dad is German. And he's lived all over the world, and he speaks perfect English. He has no accent at all, because he's mostly gone to American international schools as he's grown up internationally. And we were talking about it. So he sounds like he's American, but when you start talking to him about culture, he has no American culture background. He didn't grow up with this stuff. So I was talking about Cold War television and what it was like. I was talking specifically about when I went to Beijing a couple of years ago for a week for work, and how I had this visceral reaction to being in a country flying a big red flag, that there was something inside of me that made me feel uncomfortable. And I was trying to be self-evaluative and go, why is this flag, it's a piece of cloth flying in the breeze, making me uncomfortable? And that's not the case when I've been in Europe or Korea, or it's just this big red flag, that there was some indoctrination from my youth kicked in and went, that doesn't feel good.
Right, when you were a kid and you were drawing like little army pictures. Who were they always fighting, right?
Yeah, the red. So that color's got some sort of propaganda push behind it for me. And so when I was there, it made me uncomfortable. And then I was telling my colleague this, and then in context of that, I was talking about Cold War television. And for me, there is nothing more quintessentially Cold War than the opening of G.I. Joe the movie. And for those who've never seen it, go out and see it. It's actually a really fun flick.
It's so amazing. It's a cartoon. It's amazing.
So here is the opening of G.I. Joe the movie. Now there's a very famous theme song that goes with G.I. Joe, and the music kicks in. It's the long version. It's the 4-minute version of the full theme song.
You're gonna post this. Post this on the.
I definitely will. It's a newer version, very 80s rock and roll of G.I. Joe, the song. And
bonus points for anyone that can tell us what the name of Cobra's band.
I own the T-shirt, but you got it for me. Yeah, total bonus points. So the theme starts, the music starts, and Cobra is seemingly attacking the Statue of Liberty. Here comes Cobra rolling in with their massive ships, which who are the twins?
Exmont. What's his name?
Zaymon and Tamos and Zaymot, Tomax and Zaymot.
Tomax and Zaymot. Yeah, you're right.
Because it's the same. It's a one
backwards.
spelled forward and backwards. Those guys finance Cobra. They're billionaires or something, right?
Well, they finance Cobra, but Destro is also, he's really wealthy too. So he does all their weapons trading.
Right. So they make money through weapons. So they got all this money because every time they roll in with a fleet of flying ships and soldiers and stuff.
Yeah, that shit costs money when it gets shot down.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. So here comes the ships, and they're attacking the Statue of Liberty. And we don't know why, other than that they hate freedom. So here comes Cobra, attacking. G.I. Joe slides in. Who can turn the tide? G.I. Joe. And the battle's on. Now everybody fights. They're shooting. G.I. Joe turns the tide. There's a big bomb at the base of the Statue of Liberty because they were going to blow up the Statue of Liberty. Cobra was.
Remember, you had to explain this to someone. You go, because look, they're fucking assholes. Look, they're attacking the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that's all they're doing. Is there some sort of strategic need to take over the Statue of Liberty? No, they just want to blow that shit up because they hate freedom, goddammit, and G.I. Joe is here to stop them. So G.I. Joe shows up, thwarts Cobra, and at the end of the opening sequence, the end of the opening fight sequence in G.I. Joe the movie, is, in fact, G.I. Joe all standing across the shoulders of the Statue of Liberty, her torch held high as a symbol of freedom for the world. But, that's not enough. Let's hoist up a big American flag in the middle to give these kids who are sitting in the theater just that. I mean, the opening 6 minutes is the most...
It's fucking
patriotic,
awesome.
Defending the Statue of Liberty for no other reason except these people hate freedom and we got to stop them.
Right, and it's just like, I mean, it's like fucking America.
Oh, it is as propaganda can get.
Dude, when Duke's flying up in the jetpack with the American flag to stick it in there in the very beginning, I mean, they're like waving that shit around like Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Right. Oh, and even if you go back and read the lyrics to the opening song, the very beginning, like it's this dramatic kind of dark music, dun, 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 and it's crashing through the sky. Comes a fearful cry of Cobra, evil taking flight, yeah, panic spreading far and wide, and then it's G.I. Joe, a real American hero, fighting for freedom wherever there's trouble.
That's awesome. I just got goosebumps.
I know, right? G.I. Joe, a real American hero. And G.I. Joe, as we know, is the code name for America's daring, highly trained Special Mission Force. Its purpose is to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world because they're assholes.
Right. That's it. That's the only reason is because they fucking hate.
And speaking of which, 80s action movies, G.I. Joe the movie. God damn it. And Transformers the movie.
Oh, my God. So, do you know this? You know the story? I'm just for our listeners out there. So, Transformers the movie is one of my favorite movies. Just fucking love that shit. And I saw that movie as a kid, and it fucking blew me away. And one of the craziest parts about this movie is because in the cartoon, nobody really died. No one really got blown up. Maybe they got shot a little bit and they were fine. Hasbro gave... Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So Hasbro gave the direction. Any toys that are not selling, fucking kill them. And so they were like, okay, so this is definitely a much more aggressive cartoon than we were used to.
Oh, for sure.
The intro is like really nice and everything, and then great music by Stan Bush, who, bonus points if anyone knew that he is the only human to be inducted into the Transformers Hall of Fame, is Stan Bush.
Okay.
So it starts out, and then Cobra shows up, or not Cobra, excuse me, might as well be Cobra, right? Decepticons show up and just start fucking people up. They start murking dudes. They're ripping Transformers in half with Devastator. I mean, shit fucking goes down. And you're just seeing this as a kid. You're going, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, if that was your favorite character, sorry.
Sorry, dude. His shit doesn't sell.
You better get used to liking Bumblebee because guess who's going to live?
God. No, who's going to live is fucking Spike and and his dickhead dad.
And then later on, his dickhead son. If you stripped out the episodes of Transformers that didn't involve one of the Spikes fucking up, you're going to have 13 episodes of Energon cubes and Starscream bitching. That's the whole show. 13. You get 13 episodes after that.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh, God.
You got to pick one. Like, we're holding your family over a well. We're going to drop them if you don't pick one.
Okay. They're over a well. They're in a buck. What are they in over the well? Who's holding them? I just
don't
need to
know.
know how much time I have here. Is it like a rope?
You got as much time as
situation?
No, you got like enough time.
Okay, so let's say they're tethered and someone's holding an axe. So like they're not just going to accidentally fall. But I
Right.
still got to make a decision.
Right. If you don't make a decision, in X amount of time,
Favorite transfer.
I'm gonna shoot the signal.
Oh, it's hard for me to not like. My immediate reaction is to go for.
Mine's Starscream.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say one of the dinosaurs. I really like Grimlock. I loved Grimlock as a kid. I think it's funny in today's climate to think about the Megatron Transformer toy that I had as a kid, which looked like a real
Straight
fucking
up
chromed out gun.
Was a Walther P90? No,
No,
it's a Walther something.
but yeah,
That is really nice.
it looked like a fucking pistol.
Shockwave is a gun too. He's like a laser gun though.
Yeah, that was a little better. I really like that little prick that comes out of Soundwave.
Oh God, Rumble.
Rumble. God,
That dude,
he's the most powerful Transformer. He comes out and he fucks shit up and then he goes away. Like, no one can beat that little dude.
No, because he like whoops the shit. He's always like fucking shit up like really bad. And there's another version of him. He's the purplish one. There's a black one too, black and red.
I think in retrospect, Soundwave is probably his bitch. I think that they're in a femdom relationship,
Right.
Or a subdom relationship, and
So when he says like bring out the
Soundwave
gimp,
is the sub.
he's
Yeah.
like bring out the gimp. It's Soundwave's in like a leather outfit.
Yeah, exactly. That
Oh
they
my
go
God.
that on their off hours, Soundwave is tricked out in the leather outfit.
Tricked
and Rumble
out.
is
Blinging.
blinging,
Swarovski crystals all over
lipstick
this bitch.
smeared. Rumble's just sitting there like, polish my pile driver, polish it.
Polish my pile driver. God, it's terrifying.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet. I'm not going to Google it because
Well, who was your favorite? So it was Rumble?
no, it's leader one. I'm fucking. With you. I know that's GoBots.
Yeah.
It's all right. One of our 100 listeners, asshole, just fell out of their chair when I said that.
Leader one.
It's just they immediately
Maybe.
started to stand up involuntarily, like, you son of a bitch. How dare you?
How dare you? That's an 81 Honda.
It'd be the same thing for true Transformers fans if I was like, oh, clearly it's Hot Rod. It's definitely Hot Rod.
Oh no, I don't like fucking Hot Rod.
It's Rodimus Prime.
So I would say I like Starscream, but I also like Galvatron.
I like Galvatron too. I think Galvatron was fun, and I like Megatron, but
Yeah.
he's a good heel. He's not bad. He's not a bad heel. He needs a better finishing move, but he's a good heel.
Well, it's like, dude, why can't he take out Optimus Prime when he's got the huge gun on his arm?
Right.
And then but he needs to turn into the little gun to kill, which is strange. And then Starscream's the one that actually fires it.
Yeah. So it's Starscream who has to pull the trick. So in the modern gun debate, Megatron doesn't kill people. Starscream kills people.
Starscream kills people.
Why are we trying to ban Megatron, man? Don't be trying to create laws that make Megatron illegal when the problem is Starscream's mental health. That's what we should be talking about.
You know what's kind of interesting, though? Is you think about this, right? G.I. Joe versus Cobra. They're pretty evenly matched, except for G.I. Joe has better toys, I would say. Right? They have better equipment.
Yeah.
Okay? In Transformers, that's not the case. You're talking about military vehicles versus like fucking trucks and Jeeps and shit. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
So they got to get close and throw some hands.
Yeah, there should have been more. There should have been more solid fights. I want to say, and all things considered, the fighting in the original cartoon isn't great. I really like. I'm not gonna, dude. It's a cop out, but I was always a big Optimus Prime fan. He always seemed to have his
Optimus is
shit
dope.
together.
He does.
Optimus would step up and take care. He had a team full of fuck ups, and he would have to step up and get it done. I also liked Mirage a lot. Mirage was pretty cool.
The Porsche.
Ratchet was pretty cool.
Dude, did I send you that picture? Someone took a picture and they said I parked my car next to my homie Ratchet, and it had that little, when he was the little ambulance.
Oh, yeah.
It had one of the Toyota ambulances. I was like, God damn, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, how have you ever seen one of those cars? I've never seen one.
No, not in person. God, no.
Yeah, it was someone I'd seen one. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I when I first moved to, I don't think I ever told you this story, but when I first moved to Scottsdale that week, was Barrett-Jackson of that year. And for those who don't know, Barrett-Jackson is a big old massive car auction that takes place in Scottsdale every year where they sell off classic cars and collector cars and things like that.
I'm pretty sure they know what it is.
I don't know. I didn't know what it was till I moved there. So California kids, if you don't know, that's what it is. So if you're a car collector and you're looking for that hot whatever, that 1972 Chevy Chevelle in pale yellow with the 442 in it, that's where you get that shit.
Oh, you just mixed up like 3 cars.
Exactly. Actually, a 72 Chevelle in pale yellow is what I grew up in. It didn't have a 442 in it. That was an Oldsmobile. Anywho, so Barrett-Jackson takes place that year, and I'm driving down Shea Boulevard in Scottsdale toward my house, and I pull up to a stoplight, and I look to my left, and it's fucking Ecto 1, the original Ecto 1, which sold at auction at Barrett-Jackson that year.
Wow.
And it was just, the dude bought it and was just driving it around Scottsdale.
So when I lived there, I've got a picture of me standing next to him. They did, when the Ghostbusters, that video game came out.
Yeah.
We went out to a bar, and then we were coming home, and I was like, holy shit, pull the fuck over. And we pulled over, and Ecto 1 was just chilling in the parking lot, and there was like 2 people in Ghostbusters get-ups out there. I was like, what are you guys doing? There was like, oh, there's a midnight launch for that Ghostbusters video game. So we took some pictures, and that was a long time ago.
Do you remember, I think I was with you, I might have been with Dustin, a coworker of ours, but we dropped over to that Best Buy in North Scottsdale. Scottsdale's such a weird bubble of a place, and it's got so much money, but it's also got people who, because housing is so cheap, so it's got legitimate rich people, and then it's got fake rich people and the $30,000 millionaires and whatnot. Dustin and I went to, I think it's Dustin and I went to Best Buy, and we parked and we're walking into Best Buy because he wanted to look at new album releases or some such shit. I don't know what, I don't know of any good reason to go into a Best Buy nowadays other than a showroom. So we're going in to look at music or whatever he wants to look at, because he still bought CDs like a fucking animal, like a primate, like a swinging from the trees, Australopithecus afarensis. Hasn't come down yet and found Spotify or digital music. I'm going to buy some CDs, fella.
What'd you find? What'd you see?
Just in the parking lot was a brand new convertible Rolls Royce. I don't remember the model. I looked it up at the time. The sticker price, this thing was customed out too, just totally customed out. Sticker price on it off the lot was $550, and they probably put another $100 or $200
That's a silver.
Customizing.
That's a Ghost.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous car. Just parked at Best Buy. Like he popped into, I don't know.
It's a Phantom or a Wraith.
It's a Phantom. It's one of those. Yeah, it was a really nice Rolls. And that for me is the quintessential Scottsdale experience. Guy just rolling into Best Buy to pick up a new Keurig machine in his Bentley, or his Rolls with the top down, still in the park, just chilling in the parking lot. But
what did they call that? It was something different, because it was a Rolls Royce drop head, because there was one parked in my building.
It was ridiculous. It was such a nice car, but it's also
that's right.
That's a fuck you level of money. I'm not saying that if I had that much money. Well, let me ask you: if you had, let's say, I'm going to give you the scenario. Do you remember the movie Brewster's Millions?
Hell yeah!
I'm going to update that shit for Brewster's Billions. So you get
billions.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. You get you have to spend $30 billion in 30 days. Is that possible? No.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm going to give you... Hold on.
I'm telling you how I'm doing it. You ready?
Don't remember the rules. I got to give you the rules. There were rules. So I'm going to make it $300 million. You got to spend $300 million in 30 days. At the end of those 30 days, you can have 0 assets.
Okay.
0 assets. That means you can't own anything except the clothes that you started the challenge on. That's the premise of the movie Brewster's Millions. So Brewster gets $30 million to spend in 30 days, and at the end can be left with 0 assets. If he does so, he then inherits $300 million.
Okay, so but I have $300 million or I have $1 billion? How much do I have?
You have $300 million.
Okay, this is easy to do these days. You can waste that was a lot harder then. Dude, I'm straight up investing money into the space program.
Well, that you're investing. You own
stocks.
No,
I don't own stock. I'm spending $300 million. I'm buying the fuel.
You can't buy $300 million worth of fuel in 30 days. They don't send up that many rockets. I'll give you $5 million.
How much does fuel cost for a rocket?
Not that much, man. It's expensive, but it's not that much. I'll let you spend $5 million on just the fuel. There you go. You bought the fuel for SpaceX. Now what are you going to do with
Okay,
the
hold on. No.
$295 million?
Listen, you need to hold your horses.
All right.
Okay. So I bought the 384,000 gallons of liquid hydrogen in the external tank of the shuttle for a cost of $376,389,058.
Okay.
Get some.
All right.
Next challenge.
I could be wrong.
Any more brain busters? That not counting, there's an additional 141,750 gallons of liquid oxygen that cost almost $100 million. The total cost of the propellant is the rocket fuel is only $1,380,000.
Okay, so the propellant itself is used up, but everything else is an asset. You own that shit. You own the tank.
No.
Yeah. You can't you can't buy something and destroy. You can't buy a $300 million asset and then destroy it.
I'm buying $300 million. I'm owing over $300 million of liquid hydrogen that is going to be used.
How much of that liquid hydrogen is used on each rocket launch?
All that fucking exact amount.
Yeah, hold on. How much? I'm gonna Google this. How much?
You don't.
Liquid.
I'm fucking already. How much does NASA pay per kilogram of hydrogen, dude? That's what I'm fucking doing. I won.
Hydrogen cost.
Pay up, pay up, sucker.
X. So assuming that you got a rocket launch happening inside that window, you're gonna call up SpaceX, and you're gonna say, "Hey, I need to.
Dude,
I want to buy your fuel."
I'd say, "Hey, look, it's your boy Glock, also known as the Warrior from the Wizard and Warrior podcast. I'm gonna pay for the fuel, but we need to send this bitch up."
NASA
within 30 days.
67 cents per gallon. A gallon of liquid oxygen weighs 4, so they paid 0.16. Total amounts for those interested, 384,071 gallons of liquid hydrogen in the external tank of the shuttle for a cost of $376 million. The total cost of all propellant for rocket fuel is, these numbers exclude the hydrogen. Well, shit.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like that's a loophole.
I don't feel like that's a loophole. I feel like I outsmarted you.
I feel like you're. If they ever remake that movie, you're gonna win. You're gonna be writing an angry letter to them. Be like, why didn't you just buy NASA's rocket fuel?
Okay, so on that same.
So here's the problem.
Let's take out crazy shit like that. You can't.
Hold on. Here's the problem: is that you can't buy that. So here's your issue: is that you physically can't, like, you can't cut that check. You can call up NASA, but what you're really doing is donating. NASA has that contract. You're not purchasing that. And you can't make a donation to NASA for that. So it's going to be outside the realm of, it's not a legal purchase, so you can't do it. Same reason, like, I would buy 500 tanks and donate to the military. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Okay, I concur. So, and you can't pull the same, well, you can use this, but the most expensive stamp is $9.5 million.
However, during tax week, it is important to note, FYI, that when we send those fucking rockets up, it's $376 million for the fuel. People ask, where do my tax dollars go?
No, it's more than that.
Look up, bro.
So it's $376 million plus $94 million plus $1.3 million.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want to know where your tax money goes? Look up. Look at that vapor trail as that rocket blasts off into the sky to drop another satellite for the government to watch us. I just went conspiracy theory, honest. I like paying taxes. I'm a progressive. I'm fine with taxes as long as it makes our society a better place.
Should I put my tinfoil hat on or no?
No. Okay. I want you to tell me how you're going to spend your $300 million with no assets. Brewster, by the way, buys that stamp in the movie and mails it, which was a good idea.
Yeah, that was a good idea. That was a nice little loophole.
Can you spend $300 million and no assets? Can you? I mean, you're doing what he did. You're going to be throwing Jay-Z parties every night. You know, it's Kanye style. Throw maybe what was that shit show EDM festival that happened in the Caribbean that didn't come off? You know what I'm talking about? Fire.
No, like.
Do you remember did you hear about this?
Maybe not.
Oh God. Okay, so I think it was like Fire Fest or something like that. So someone created this idea of a festival, Fire, FYRE festival. It was a music festival scheduled to take place on this tiny little island in the Caribbean, and it was marketed as a sort of rich luxury event. So it was meant to be a luxury event. It was aimed at people who were wanting to spend some significant coin. It was a bit of an elitist idea and an elitist premise. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And things went awry. So the fire.
So many people wanted it.
No. Basically, it was advertised as fine gourmet food. It ended up being 2 pieces of bread, 2 slices of cheese, and a shit show salad in a styrofoam container for food. There was
they fucked. They screwed these people.
Yeah, there was only like 2 bathrooms. The music, none of the music venues showed up. There was the trash receptacles were just like plastic white bins. It was.
So did they take the money and run?
No, they promised that it was going to be something bigger, but it wasn't. It ended up being a complete and total shit show. But so you could do that. You could throw a festival. You could book a bunch of acts, throw a festival, and charge nothing for it. So make it a free festival. So you're running negative. Just pay the acts a bunch of money. I bet you could blow $300 million in 30 days doing that.
Yeah, planning like a fucking giant festival. You could do that. What about if you like remade, like you could make a movie, and then not charge for people to see it.
Yeah, I suppose so. You could make.
I think there's a lot of. I mean, you have to set up a lot of different rules. Like they didn't have access to all kinds of stuff like this.
Yeah, it's 30 days. You got 30 days though. That makes it a problem. The festival, you're going to need to pull permits, and can you get permits fast enough?
Yeah, because you fucking give people bribes and shit.
Yeah, you could definitely rent a bunch of private jets and fly people to a place where permitting isn't a problem.
Oh shit!
Fly a bunch of acts in.
What is this movie? I was supposed to tell you to watch this movie. Fucking one of the craziest things.
All right, tell me about it.
It's like something Odessa.
Little Odessa? That's a town.
No.
in Russia.
No. I know what it is, but that's not it. It's movie.
Look it up. Tell me what it is.
So anyways, it's about these guys that start a Case Links Russian sub, Cuban drugs. So here's the movie. What the hell's Operation
Give me
Odessa?
the full plot.
Okay. So it's how a Russian mobster tried to sell a Soviet submarine to the cartel. It's called Operation Odessa. This movie is fucking wild as shit. So they tell about how it all happened. The Russian guy's name is Tarzan. I don't want to give any details because this movie's unbelievably good. And so basically this guy, he comes to Miami and he starts up this strip club and he calls it Porky's because that's his favorite movie. We talked about that. And then he meets all these interesting characters. Housekeeping.
Yeah, keep going.
And so he meets all these interesting characters and stuff, and they go through and they do all this fucking wild ass shit. Like one guy's like owns all these. He owns a marina and he owns all these like crazy boats and he has all these amazing cars. Well, they tell like this, like one little snippet I'll give you is like, speaking of going crazy with money, is they go to Russia to go and look and they want to buy all these motorcycles to sell them to the Colombians. And he goes, hey, it's like a 100-mile drive. He's like, let's rent a helicopter. So they call the airport and the lady's like, well, we don't rent any helicopters. So this is during when like the Soviet Union fell. And so shit's kind of crazy and they're like telling them how everything was for sale. She's like, well, we don't rent these, but and then she goes, give me a day, I'll call you back. So she calls him back. She goes, well, it's quite expensive to do this for 3 pilots because you need 3 pilots to fly this crazy helicopter. It's like a military helicopter. And he goes, well, I know, but we might be interested. How much is it? She goes, $500 for the day. And he tells his buddy, and his buddy goes, holy fucking shit. He goes, let's get 10 of them. So they get 10 fucking military helicopters. I'm talking like the one in Rambo 2.
Yeah, like Black Hawk style.
You know, no, not Black Hawk, with all the fucking guns. They call them crocodiles.
Okay.
With all the fucking guns sticking on the side. And then he's like, they're flying into some small ass town trying to find this bike shop where they make these motorcycles. And he goes, the pilot's like, well, there's no fucking maps. You don't know where this place is. So he goes, how are you going to figure out where to go? And he goes, I'm going to land right in the middle of the fucking town and I can get out and ask directions. So he lands his fucking military helicopter in the middle of the fucking town, like in the street. And people are like, oh my God, they've never seen helicopters like this. And there's like 8 more in the air right now flying above. They don't know what the hell's going on. He said, so this, I'll just leave it at that. But anyways, so a cop comes up to him and he goes, the cop had like a little stick. He was on a moped and he had a little stick. He goes, he didn't even have a gun or anything. And he goes, who are you? And he goes, He goes, we're so-and-so, we're here for this. He goes, I need you to stand right here and guard this helicopter until we come back. And so they took, like, pictures of him guarding it. It's fucking wild. The movie's crazy, but there's some other...
I'll put it on my list to do. I'll put it on my to-watch list.
So it's on Showtime, but it's called...
Was it Little Odessa? Is that what you said?
Operation Odessa.
Operation Odessa. All right, I'm making a note.
Yeah,
Operation Odessa, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So let's say you win. You spend your $300 million and you get $3 billion. You're not a billionaire. You got Zuckerberg money. You got fuck you money.
Yep.
So you got no time frames. What's the Ryan definition of rich crazy? What's your crazy shit that you're getting into?
I don't know if I'd get too crazy. I mean, I'd have like a bunch of cars that I'd probably never drive. I think you'd go through like weird things where you'd have like a bunch of cars. I'd have like a monster boat and like park it in like Monaco. You know, it just like sits in the water. I don't really do water, so I'm not gonna sail this motherfucker somewhere. Because if the waters get rough, I'm taking the helicopter and getting the fuck out of there.
You don't do water? What about you? Don't do cruises or big boats, little boats? You don't want to wakeboard into the office on a Tuesday morning?
Yeah, no shit, right? No, I mean I'll do that shit, but it's like, dude, if I get seasick. I don't really know if I get seasick though, because I used to get sick on airplanes, and I sure as shit don't get sick on airplanes anymore. So maybe I need to like revisit the ocean.
Maybe, yeah. So when I was growing up, my dad used to tell me that he was allergic to sushi because one time he ate it in the early 80s and he got sick. And this was in the mid 90s that I had a frank conversation with him that went something along the lines of, I know you're not allergic to seaweed, rice, or fish. I've seen you eat all three independently of each other. So why does mixing them make you sick? And he finally was unable to deny that little bit of logic. So he tried it again and ended up liking it. So moral of the story, maybe you should get back on a boat and stop being such a pussy.
Well, that's fair point. I mean, loud and clear, sir. I heard you.
There is perhaps I could entice you with a little bit of something that I didn't know about, which is that there is a festival in Europe called Yacht Week. Are you familiar with this?
That's where they have the house music.
Well, so they have the White Party, the EDM festival. And then
what's it called? It's called like Pure or something.
Oh, that's called that's called the White Party or the White Festival Europe EDM gangbang. Always put gangbang at the end of your searches. It makes it way more fun.
No, don't do that.
Way more fun.
Not safe for work. Ultra Europe. That's what that one is.
No, Ultra just happened in. Ultra moves around. They just had the Ultra in Miami that I was really pissed I missed because it was where Swedish House Mafia jumped back together. That was fucking awesome. But there was a festival. I want to say it's in Amsterdam every year. That Amsterdam. How about this? Amsterdam EDM Festival gangbang. Let's see. I guess it's just called the Amsterdam Music Festival. I thought there was some other. I thought there was a.
Why wouldn't you have a better name? That name sucks.
That name totally sucks. I think maybe. Wonder if I thought it was the White Festival or something. Maybe they didn't like the racial connotations associated with the color white. But I thought it was a thing that everybody.
Come on. Come on.
I don't know. I thought it was something White Moon or something like that. Sensation White. I thought it had a color associated with it. Maybe I'm wrong. It's supposed to be good though. The Amsterdam one's supposed to be amazing, and then I think that there's Yacht Week somewhere around there. I'm gonna have to do some research on this because right now.
Yeah, you should have been more prepared for this. I feel
ignorantly talking out of my ass about a festival that I haven't gone to, that involves boats. My point is that you should get back on a boat. Get on a boat. Take a cruise. Amy and I really want to take a cruise. It's on our to-do list of things to do in the next year or two. Is to take a cruise. Drink a bunch of booze, have a bunch of fun, sit in the sun, swim in the pool, go down the water slide, do whatever you do on a cruise.
It's got to be warm, though.
I don't care if it's warm.
What are you talking about? You're not going to get in the fucking water if it's cold.
I'm not going to get in the ocean. You're on a fucking cruise ship, man.
They have a goddamn...
off a building.
They have fucking swimming pools.
Yeah, the pools are heated. It's a cruise ship.
Oh, nah.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you take an Alaskan cruise, those pools are heated. And probably indoor pools, too.
I don't know, man. I haven't been on a cruise for a long time.
Pools, cruise.
If you only had access to a wealth of
gangbang.
knowledge. indoor swimming pool cruise gangbang. What?
Indoor pools, cruise ship, gangbang. Always put gangbang at the end. It makes it more fun. 10 cruise ships with incredible pools. Yeah, heated, indoor, cocktails in hand, drinking and swimming, and you get off the boat, you walk around some Mexican town for 4 hours, get back on the boat. I'm doing it. I'm doing one of these cruises at some point. It sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
For sure. Nothing wrong with a good cruise. So that's it. You're not. There's no rich crazy for you. So this comes up. I'm thinking about this because we were talking about rich crazy last time with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Well, no, that's basically like fucking when they start doing stupid shit, when they get like really rich.
Yeah.
And then they start saying like, don't let your possessions tie you down, and pursue what you want. Everything's like that's exactly the type of shit that rich people say when they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
That's the kind of shit.
What's the crazy? What's your rich? You think you're just going to be the same Ryan, just with some extra shit? You don't think you're going to have rich? I know I'm going to get rich. I'm going to dress like.
Oh, dude, I would
like
do
a
something.
freak.
Yeah, I would do some like funny stuff. I would be like, I need you to go. I need like this assistant to go out and purchase every single He-Man character in new in box. I need them all now. I need you to get that collection like lined up for me.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty crazy. So I would.
It'd be fucking nutso shit like that. Like I would collect a bunch of toys.
I would be like toys, but
I would be like, I need a samurai suit of armor. I need a sword that possibly could have been used.
Yeah, okay, I can dig that.
I mean, I have like an armor room like in Batman. I'd have Bruce Wayne's house from the first
with
the
Batcave.
19. Yeah.
With Batcave.
Fuck yeah, I'm building the Batcave.
Would you have that Vicky Vale dining room table where you have to call
and
down
I'd be
to
like,
the other side?
Yeah, and I'd be like talking to my wife. I'd be like, I don't think we've ever been in this room.
Coming America style, where you have to use the intercom to talk to your parents at the other end.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that shit. That's weird. I don't like that. I'm eating in front of the TV.
Dude, I walked it. So this house that I'm renting, that I'm moving to in a month, in here in the greater Sacramento area. Mm-hmm. The guy who was renting, this is a 3,500 square foot house. It's not a small house. I walk in, it's one dude who's living there, and he's definitely living that sort of I have a kid, so there's like kids' toys, a couple of them, but it's clearly a bachelor's house because you walk in the front door, 85-inch panel,
nice
pool table, couch. That's his living room.
Is that Stan?
I don't know, but he's got 85. He's got an 85-inch panel, and I know my panels, so it's definitely an 85-inch panel.
That would be a
beautiful
Samsung.
Leather couch. Yeah, it's a Samsung, and a beautiful pool table. Really nice pool table. Like not a cheap, shitty one, but a good quality.
What's your rich crazy?
Oh, I'm definitely going down some of the pop culture stuff. For example, I might go full wizard. I might embrace the Merlin name and go full fucking wizard and just walk around in dramatic robes.
I'm collecting a bunch of key cars from 80s movies. I'm buying them.
Oh, you're gonna find a DeLorean in my garage for sure. But I think I'd go full crazy. I think I'd go robes. I'd get the metal skull cap thing from 1980 or 79, 81, Excalibur. Merlin the Wizard from that one movie. Who's got the metal skull thing? I'd definitely get one of those.
Called Dragon Slayer?
Yeah, I'd have a whole room of custom made wizard staffs. I don't embrace any of that stuff now, and I feel that if I went full billionaire, I'm just gonna really own it and go with it. I'm gonna go full crazy.
So, what's his name? One of my favorite video games of all time is Ultima Online. Richard Garrett. He lives here in Austin.
Yeah, I know.
He's got a house. He's got a house like that where he's got like, his house has like all these secret paths to get to places. So you can't, unless you knew where all they were, you wouldn't be able to get to all these different rooms and stuff. There's a YouTube video for that. It's freaking amazing.
Yeah, I'd definitely do that. I think
he's like
I'd
this
collect
crazy
arcade
weapons
games too. That'd be a thing for me. Stand-up arcade games.
My brother has like 50 of them.
Yeah, I do that. I try to buy all of them. I make my own little barcade.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You gonna invite people over?
Yeah, I like people. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't want you to all leave me the fuck alone. But sometimes I like people. Mm-hmm. I can dig it.
All right, I could dig that. Yeah, that'd be kind of dope.
Yeah. I think I would probably be fairly philanthropic. I would help people out as I could.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a nice guy. I give to charities and I help people out. And
Yeah, but I would be like definitely like, all right, like if I'm gonna pony up this dough, I want to see exactly where it goes. I'm not gonna just fucking hand this over. I want to be like, all right, I gave you $1 million. I'm gonna need to see some receipts.
I don't know
Because
that
I
I'd
will
do that.
fuck you up. Like I would fuck a motherfucker up if I'm giving $1 million to charity and I found out a dude bought like a Cadillac with gold rims on it. I would fill that whole Cadillac full of uppercut.
Yeah, I don't care. Don't care. You buy your Cadillac. I'll give the charity and I'll take the you do whatever you need to do. I don't care.
No, you're telling me that if you gave the charity your money and you find out that homeboy was like,
if he blew money, if he was
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A salary, if he was a
No,
paid
that's
salaried
cool.
employee,
I get that.
and he bought a Cadillac, fine. But if he blew my charity money on stupid shit and the money didn't go to the intent, I'd have a problem with that, of course. But I'm just saying that I don't need to know every receipt. I would hire someone to do nothing but research. Make sure this charity's on the up and up. Give me Charity Watch. Give me a report on these people, and then I will give them my money.
Hold on. Here's Rich Crazy. Rich Crazy is wanting to star in a movie so bad that you buy the rights to the book and then create the movie, a la Jack Reacher.
Did Tom Cruise do that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
so.
crazy.
So the reason why those movies,
That's
so the
not crazy.
character,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I do that shit too.
No,
I
it's
would do that
ridiculous. I know, but Jack Reacher is like supposed to be like 6'8", like 280 pounds. He's supposed to be like this big, like crazy guy. And you have, what is Tom Cruise? What, 5'6"?
Something like, well, yeah, but I'm that kind of shit really doesn't bug me in movies. When you got what was his name? He played Matt Damon in that movie with rugby. That guy that he's playing in the South African Springbok player that he's playing. First of all, they had to change. The movie was called Invictus.
I like it.
They had to change Matt Damon's character's position because the guy who Matt Damon is playing, Francois Pienaar, right? Francois Pienaar is huge. He's a big dude. I mean, he's a rugby player, and Matt Damon is not that huge.
No.
Yeah, so I don't mind when they do that kind of
Francois
thing.
is 6'5", 230,
Yeah,
238.
6'5", 238, and Matt Damon's 5'10", and 200.
He's a terrifying looking guy.
Yeah, well, he's rugby
He's
player,
like,
man.
that dude's he will definitely eat your fucking children. He's like, no problem.
Yeah, and he doesn't look anything like Matt Damon. He looks like angry. He looks like Sting when you made him angry. Mm-hmm. Sting hulked out and turned into
like
Francois
Pienaar. If Sting's face got stung by a bee.
I think if Sting's face, if someone halfway through Fields of Gold was just like, what the fuck, dude, you've played this 19 times, and it walks up, grabs the guitar out of Sting's hand, and blasts him in the face with it. That's what
they fucking were like coughing in the audience.
Oh, and he hulks out.
Yeah, and he's just like, he fucking hulks the fuck out. That's what he looks like.
Remember me? And he's just
he's like, or his cell phone goes off, and it's like a private show. And
he's in the middle of a tantric orgasm, trying to play Fields of Gold, and this motherfucker keeps coughing. God damn it! And he loses it. He can't take it anymore. Walks out. Francois Pienaar's out, and then walks into the crowd. Sting smash.
Yeah, he just fucking turned.
Sting
This is his alter ego.
Francois Pienaar, Sting's alter ego.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next movie from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hey, dude, we're nearing 1:30. Let's wrap it up. What else you got?
I mean, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I had to talk about today.
Yeah. What did we talk about today? We talked about Transformers and G.I. Joe, Cold War television.
Rich Crazy. Defining 80s action movies. We discussed the finer points of defending the Crystal Skull.
Oh, God, the Crystal Skull. I'm still mad about that.
You're going to watch that shit again.
So this is what happens when you recommend these movies to me, and I put it off for a while, and then I know...
Well, the hype train was gone.
The hype train was gone. And True Romance was good. True Romance totally lived up to it. It took me 2 years. You said you got to watch that movie. It took me like 2 years to watch. I watched it.
Dude,
it was great.
That's a phenomenal movie.
It's a great movie. No Country for Old Men. I put that off for years too. You kept telling me you got to watch this movie. It's great. It was very good. It was very, very good. but it
Well,
was.
this wasn't. This
the
was
hype train
just.
had left.
But you knew what you were getting into with this.
Yeah, I'd seen it already, but the hype train was it's not as bad as you remember, and dude, it was worse. It was worse. It was worse. So we talked about Crystal Skull. We talked about the experts. We talked about Transformers, G.I. Joe, Francois Pienaar,
Yeah.
Rich Crazy, Brewster's Millions, Fire Festival. That's 8. That's way more than 7-ish. So we definitely covered 7-ish things.
I think it was one topic lumped in together.
I guess sure. How about we'll give you seven, one topic, 7-ish sub points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah. What else you got going on? Anything else? Tell me about this week at Transform Fitness. What do you guys got going on?
They've been doing a bunch of. They just wrapped up a 6-week challenge. They crowned the winner who got a free 6 weeks.
That's awesome.
So that's
I
not bad.
saw you guys posted
bone on that. That's good.
Yeah, I saw you guys posting pictures online. You're looking pretty yoked yourself.
Yeah, getting back in shape. Believe it or not, man, my cardio is still trash. But when I first started, when I started back up again, I was just like, man, this is horrible. My Achilles heel is running. Like I can lift all that stuff and do everything, but like if you throw some running in there, I'm gonna be dragging some ass.
Running. I like cardio, like shooting hoops, and I'm gonna give swimming a whirl. That's the thing. I have a bit of a back issue, so my doctor recommended maybe you should try swimming. It stretches you out, gets you in, and I'm built like a swimmer. I've really long legs.
Swimming's tough.
Yeah, so it's I'm gonna give that a whirl. I'm actually shopping for some waterproof headphones and like a music player because I can't go to do cardio and have nothing in my ears. That's bull.
Dude,
I can't be left alone with my own thoughts, man. That's not healthy for anybody.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. I swam out to this fucking buoy at this lake here, Lake Pflugerville. I swam out to this fucking buoy that was way out there, and it looked like super far. And I was like getting tired as shit as I was going to it. They have all these goddamn weeds that are like touching my legs and shit, feeling like Jason. Speaking of Friday the 13th that we didn't talk about, trying to pull me down. That was last week.
What about tomorrow, Friday the 420th?
Yeah, no shit.
Oh
well, hold on,
God.
dude. So I swim out to this fucking buoy, and I pulled a Gattaca, right? I straight up like didn't leave anything in the tank. I got all the way out there, thinking I was gonna be able to rest on this buoy. No, couldn't fucking even get a grip on it. I had to swim back. I was like almost fucking panicking. I was like, this is going to be the lamest shit in the world. I fucking made it though.
Did you get Uma Thurman in the end? No Uma Thurman?
No.
Little Uma?
But I fucking turned over on my back and did the monkey soldier airplane thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about.
Fucking saved my life. I was in deep shit. That was the scariest thing ever. I was like, what a fucking stupid idea. So then at that point I learned that it's like maybe I should not swim out to shit so far away.
Yeah,
stick to the pool.
Thank you all for attending. We're here to celebrate the life of Ryan, who in a tragic accident was too much of a bitch to make the swim back from the buoy. We'd like to invite his wife to speak on his behalf, and she steps up and she says, "That motherfucker," and then sits back down.
Yeah, what a fucking asshole.
Fucking asshole. So I'm gonna look into some merch. I got a 12-year-old graphic designer coming up with something for us.
Whoever names without fucking looking it up and comments on our Facebook page. Don't fucking look that shit up. You have to know that shit. Don't be lame.
What are they looking up for us? Bonus points for what?
What the name of Cobra's band is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What is the name of Cobra's band? You can tweet it at me at Smoking Hamlet. You can shoot it on the IG over to Ryan at Glock on Fire. Are you Glock on Fire on Twitter too?
No, for some reason I'm the real Ryan Burns.
You're the real Ryan Burns over on Twitter. Awesome. You can post it to our Facebook page. We're gonna work on some merch, maybe some coffee mugs because coffee's important. Maybe if we're doing glasses, a beer snack. You know what? I'm just thinking about it. I got an email from a high school classmate of mine who does swag. She's a swag company now, so I'll reach out to her about maybe some swag for our 100-ish listeners if they want to get a 100-ish T-shirt. And what else? I think that's it. Anything else going on? Shout out to Hard Pound Music, who's got my underbeats again this week. I'll drop those underneath there. Shout out to Transform Fitness, changing lives one rep at a time, one motherfucker at a time.
Hey, I think you just hit the name right on the head.
What's that?
The army, our army is called the 100-ish.
The 100-ish.
No matter how big this gets, it will always be. Yeah, we have about 100-ish listeners.
All right, the 100-ish.
The 100-ish.
Yeah, and then if you got something you want us to talk about, or something interest, or something I said that you hated, if you want to give me some shit over my IPA comments from last week, or my reasons why you should vote last week, or you want to argue with me about politics, bring it, motherfuckers. I'm down.
Dude, don't fucking challenge him to a duel in politics.
I will.
He will fuck you up.
You know who I'm talking to, right?
Dude, he will fucking shit on your chest.
Bring it. I don't care how you grew up in the Dub K. You come into a knife fight with a shorter knife.
I'm not challenging you. I don't do politics. This shit's stupid.
I thought what's his face was our
Brad
loyal
will
listener.
fuck you up.
Brad, our loyal listener, also from the Dub K.
Dude, you and Brad are gonna go at each other like tooth and nail, and I mean, no one's gonna win. I mean, how are you gonna win in an argument like this?
The same way I win every internet argument.
Don't tell somebody unfriends you or blocks
somebody
you.
will block me. I get blocked. We had a mutual acquaintance, someone who we both knew from a past life, and when he blocked me because of all the shit arguments that I'd gotten into with his friend group online, he put up a post, said something like, I finally blocked it. It feels so good. And then all of his bitch ass friends on Facebook who had lost to me so many times in arguments. And
what he said.
Yeah, they all were just popping champagne, high fiving. We got him. Balloons falling from the sky.
Oh my God.
And this was a dude I thought was a friend of mine. I reached out and I was like, bruh. Look, if you have a problem with my arguments, bring a counter argument. But if you're gonna just cut it off and then celebrate it as a win that you couldn't stand up over. And this was all over that he posted some anti-trans shit. And I've got a lot of trans friends, both in real life and on Facebook. But
that's not it. He posting all kinds of stupid shit.
Yeah, but you know what? Look, if you're gonna post some shit, particularly some bigoted shit, whether it be about
there you go, that's it.
Jews, blacks, gays, trans, I don't care what you're bigoted against. And don't get me wrong, I've got institutionalized bigotry and racism that's baked into the American cake, and I try to overcome those things every single day, as we all should. But he brought some overt shit to the table, and I called him out on it. He did not like it. And so he cut me off, and then celebrated with his crew that he couldn't take the fire anymore. So the moral of this story is that I bring the thunder.
Kids, yeah.
You want to bring it? Bring it. I don't.
Not the lightning, the thunder.
Yeah. You want to bring it to me on Kiala where it can be civilized? That's fine. You want to bring it to me on Twitter where we can do it 140 or 240 characters at a time? Bring it. You want to do it on Facebook where I will write 1,000 words at you? Bring it. No problem.
Oh God.
Yeah, I liked our.
All right.
So next week we'll be back. New topics. Who knows what will crop up as Ryan and I banter throughout the week about what we may or may not talk about. Any movies I should be watching this week before we go? What did we say? Do you want me to watch Operation Odessa?
Yeah, you got to see that. That's good. It's a documentary. It's not really a movie.
All right, Operation Odessa. Documentaries are movies too. Don't be bigoted. Don't bring your institutionalized anti-documentary.
I apologize. It's fucking. It's good. It's just like I love shit like that. Like the fucking guys selling all the cocaine and shit, dude. Yeah. Like Cocaine Cowboys. It's like that. It's like Cocaine Cowboys. Those are fucking great.
Yeah. Oh, we should talk about the Andre the Giant documentary next time too.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that. Was good, even though it's sad, but it was really good.
Sad but good. We should talk about that. Who knows what else we'll get into? So that's it. That's all we got. We're done. Cool.
This has been a Wizard and Warrior podcast. We're out.
Signing off. Woo! That was good.